Hello students, I am Dr. Shrikant Balse, Assistant Professor at Department of Advanced Management Studies, GS College of Commerce, Varda. Today, in this video, we are going to study the important characteristics of assets. When we are talking about the investment analysis and portfolio management, it is very much necessary. It is very important for all of us to understand the characteristics of particular asset. Now, these characteristics are mainly divided on three parameters. The first one is the investment returns, second one is the investment risk, and third one is the liquidity. Now, on these three parameters, we are going to evaluate all the available major investment assets. So before going forward, we will first understand that what is meant by investment returns. When we are investing in any asset, at that time we invest for short term, medium term or long term. But when we are investing, we calculate the returns on the basis of annualized returns, that how much return we have earned in 1 year, or say 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, in multiple of 1 year. So investment returns of assets varies from one asset to another asset. In the short term, the returns will be low. In the medium term, the returns will be medium, and in the long term, the returns will be higher. This is the basic assumption of all fundamental analysts. But we will see that whether this assumption is right or wrong with respect to all the asset classes. Now, second is the long-term holding. When we are investing into any assets, say stock or debenture or bond, if we are investing into gold, silver, etc., or even the mutual fund, we invest for the long term, not for the short term. So you should have a long term approach for your investment. Then expected return based on historical returns. Now, whenever we are going to invest in any asset class, why we invest? We get fascinated by seeing that the mutual fund have given the return of say 20% or 30% in last 10 years or 20 years. So by seeing that, we get very much fascinated and we also invest in that mutual fund. But these are the past performances of that mutual fund, and there is no guarantee that the particular mutual fund will give same return in the future also. But your expected returns are based on the historical past returns. Then these past returns may or may not be repeated in the future, and it also varies from asset class to asset class. Some stock like Reliance has given great returns in the 90s and say in the era of 90s to 2000, but in the decade of say 2000 to 2015, it has not yielded great returns. But as soon as they launched the Jio, the prices of Reliance Industries stock got up exponentially. So we cannot predict that how the stock or particular asset will behave from time to time. It may happen that for a certain period of time it will zoom like anything, after that it will remain constant, and after that it will again zoom. So these returns varies from asset class to asset class. The returns in the realty sector were extremely high 10 years back, but today the realty sector is not yielding returns. So it varies from class to class and time to time. The next one is the investment risk. Remember, whenever you are investing in anything, each and every instrument and asset class is having its own investment risk. So, in stock, the risk will be extremely high. Then in bond, as the bonds are issued by the government and government companies, the risk of default is very less. In bank investments, the risk is very less, but what if the bank goes bankrupt? Your money will be having the insurance of very limited amount in bank FD. So it is also prone to risk of default. In realty, there is a saying that there is no risk in realty, but there are also many other issues and risk involved with the realty that we will see after some time. Then in the investment risk, the risk is high in the short term because you cannot predict that what will happen after few days or few months or few years, but you will be sure that in the long term the XYZ thing is going to perform excellently. You cannot predict the prices of gold on a daily basis, but you can say that over a period of say 5 years or 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, gold has given consistent returns. In the same way, the risk is very high in the short term, whereas the risk is very low in the long term. The next point is of liquidity. People do not concentrate and focus on this factor, but remember, liquidity is one of the most crucial factor in making any investment decision. So liquidity also varies from asset class to asset. See, what is liquidity? I am quoting a small example, but yet it is a very beautiful example. Imagine that you are having one bottle of water. At that time, if you are only drinking that water bottle will give you water for say few hours, for 3 times or 4 times, for 4 to 5 hours. But if there comes 2 or 3 people, that bottle can give the water for only 1 or 2 times, not more than that. And after that, the liquidity of that water bottle went down. If you are having a say tank of 5000 liters of water, the liquidity will be quite high. If you are going to a river, the liquidity will be extremely high. But what if summer comes? The liquidity in the river will go down. But if you are talking about the big rivers like Ganges, the liquidity will be extremely high forever. So the liquidity varies from one asset class to another asset class. So you have to make investment decision on the basis of liquidity also. Because if you are investing into any asset class, even if the prices of that asset goes up, what if you don't find any buyer at the time of selling? So this is a major concern. Liquidity is nothing but the ability to buy or sell at market price. Many a times it is also seen that you want to sell your XYZ security tomorrow. Today its price is 100 rupees, but tomorrow its price goes down to 90 rupees. So this is the case where the risk is extremely high. The next point is of asset class types. Now we will see one by one what are the different types of assets. The first type of asset is the equity, where the risk associated is extremely high because the equities are of stocks. There are n number of companies in the market. So the stocks are always having different management, different sectors and different fundamentals. So they are having high risk. No one can predict that what will be the future outcome, what will be the stock price in the near future. The next point in the equity is that they give high return, but in the long term only, not in the short term. But that is also depending on the whether the company is performing well or not. The next point in the equities is good liquidity in large caps. When you are talking about the stocks of Nifty 50, all the stocks are large cap companies. They are having the market capital of more than 5,000 crores. So here the liquidity is extremely high. But the investment into securities market is very risky and you are risk to different types of risk. So it is very complex to understand. The company in the similar sector will perform good over the company which is also operating in the same sector. So there may be n number of factors associated with the equity investment. The next type is the bonds. As bonds are issued by the governments, central government, by the Reserve Bank of India or the Federal Reserve, or we can say the central bank of a nation, the bonds carries very low risk, and because the risk is low, the returns are also low, and bonds are having strong liquidity as they are issued by the central bank or by the government companies. There is a very low risk of default in the bonds because they are issued by the government. Next asset class is the real estate. In the real estate also the risk associated is very low, but the problem arises is of liquidity. If you want to sell your plot or your flat or your bungalow tomorrow, it is not that easy. You may require say 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months or even years to sell your bungalow at your required price, and you cannot directly decide the price of your bungalow because it is depending on the buyer whether to buy that particular bungalow at that prescribed price. Then what is the risk involved in the realty sector? The risk is of title. If the title of property is not clear, if there are partners in the property, there is a risk of documents. If the documents are not ready, if the documents are forged documents, if the documents are duplicate, not original documents, at that time there is also a risk of document. Then the risk of encroachment. What if you are owning great plot at great place, say marketplace, and if there is an encroachment by the criminals, so it becomes very difficult for you to sell that property and buyer will not be willingly buy your plot, or the buyer may ask you to sell your plot at very low price. So there is also a risk of encroachment. The next asset class is commodities. In the commodities, agri commodities are having highest risk. This is the reason why commodity trader loses money in the commodities market, because we cannot predict that how will be the monsoon, how will be the summer, how will be the weather. So weather can be forecasted, but we cannot say that 7% the yield of cotton or soya bean or wheat will be like this. So there is also high risk involved in the agricultural commodities, but the risk is considerably low in case of precious metals like gold and silver. We have seen over the period of time, over the years, the prices of gold have risen considerably. The prices of gold may go down for a very short term, but as the gold is considered as the global investment class, because the gold is accepted all over the globe, the risk involved in the gold is extremely low. High liquidity in the precious metals. If you want to sell gold, you can sell gold within few minutes. Just go to any gold jewelry shop and you can sell. You can also sell gold online. If you are buying the gold beads, you can also sell your gold bonds immediately on the online platform. And there is no risk of default if you are investing into the precious metal, because you are selling your precious metals only when you are getting money out of that. The next asset class is of derivatives. Remember, as we have seen in all the lectures of financial derivatives, the derivatives are the instruments which are having inherent highest risk, highest level of complexity and highly sophisticated instrument. So derivatives are extremely risky with highest risk. There is a risk of default in the over-the-counter derivatives, which are termed as the forward contracts. That if a buyer or seller who is going into the loss says that I don't want to perform the particular obligation, at that time there is a risk of default. The next type of here is the no counterparty risk in exchange traded derivatives. If your derivatives are trading on the say National Stock Exchange or Bombay Stock Exchange, at that time there is no counterparty risk, because derivatives are traded on the basis of margins. So there is no counterparty risk. The margin is already collected by the stock exchange. So by the brokers and by the clearing corporations, the buyer and seller will offset their profit and loss on the basis of margins only. They are very complex and unpredictable in nature and requires expertise. If you do not understand derivatives, if you do not understand technicals, if you do not understand the price action and the indicators, do not trade into the derivatives. The next asset class is mutual funds. In the mutual funds, everyone knows that mutual fund investment are subject to market risk. If market performs well, your mutual fund is going to perform well. If market is not performing well, at that time the mutual fund will also not perform good. Next one is the diversified risk. When you are investing into the mutual fund, your money will be invested into the basket of securities, into the portfolio of securities. So there is a risk diversification. In the long term, if you are investing through the systematic investment plan, there will be value cost averaging and your risk will be low. In the equity, there will be high risk. In the equity funds, the risk will be higher, that if market goes down, your mutual fund will also go down. Then in the debt funds, the risk will be very low, as debt funds will invest only into the government bonds and the debentures. When we are talking about the liquidity, when the funds are very big, at that time there will be strong liquidity, but in the small funds the liquidity very low. So these are the all asset classes which we have studied in the important asset class, that is, the first one is the equities, second one is the bonds, third one is the real estate, fourth one is the commodities, fifth one is the derivatives, and last but not the least mutual funds. And along with this we have also studied the three most important criteria of investment, that is investment returns, investment risk, and liquidity. So I hope that you have understood all the important characteristics of asset in this video. Thank you.